All right. Here we are. Episode 23, the best damn kayak fishing podcast ever. You got the old Papa Bear, Jeremy Coughlin here, and talk to you about some fishing, some kayaking, some fails, some wins. We're here to make a good community of the average kayakers like I am, the average angler, pond fishermen and creek fishermen and people that aren't pro sponsors. We're just trying to make everybody better by teaching you the things I do wrong and letting me hear about the things you do right. My co-host is still currently on the road. She had some business down south. Hopefully she'll be dialing in or whatever, but we got Blonde on the Pond also dialed in, and I'm about to bring her in. So we've had some technical difficulty between her and I trying to get her on, and we finally got it figured out. So we're gonna rock this joint. So let's bring her in. Amanda, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Finally. I mean, it's all like third time's the charm, I guess, right?
Right. I mean, if it ain't worth doing more than once, we can hear you great.
Okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Just got your drink?
Trying to make sure everything's in working order.
If you got your drink, I'll give you a cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody out there.
So how's it
going? What you drinking?
Coke and bourbon.
Perfect.
Yeah,
You're probably gonna be a little bit of a delay, but we'll make it through it.
Do what? No. So have you been fishing lately?
I have a lot, and I need to fish a little bit more before the 21st because I'm still in a state, well, I don't know what they call it, challenge for KBF, and it's August 1st through 21st. So I'm trying to get me a few more fish before the 21st. I seen you've been catching some fish.
Yes, I have been, and I went this morning and caught some more. Yeah, I caught Grandma and Grandpa last week. I got some really good ones lately, and then it's kind of slacked off a little bit. So,
right on. So, for those that don't know who you are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Amanda Quint, and I'm from Southern Illinois, and I fish a lot. I enjoy it. I have a radio podcast that I do on Monday mornings on a radio station out of East Prairie, Missouri called Just Another Morning Show. And I do that every Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning with Reed Scott Howell. And we talk about fishing and cooking and just music and, current events, that sort of thing. So I do that. I have my YouTube. So, yeah.
It's a pretty cool little show. I like that you get on the phone and record it for your Facebook while you're doing the radio show. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah. It's a fun hobby.
So. It was a strange happening how we met in Decatur, Alabama.
It was, wasn't it? Wow.
Yeah. The Blonde on the Pond from Southern Illinois, right? And
yeah, Southern Illinois. Mm-hmm.
And she's at damn Decatur, Alabama, stranded because a friend ditched her.
Yeah.
I hope you're not friends
after
anymore.
Driving all that way. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
that was crazy. I was in tears. I'd never been there. I mean, and I don't travel like that by myself. I mean, not that far. And that was like a huge thing for me to do. Right. So, I mean, I get down there and I'm like, where is he at? It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he just bailed on me, this, 2-day tournament and he just split. So.
Right. Anyway. After you drove, 7 hours? 8 hours? I don't know.
No, it was 4 hours, but there was a wreck around Clarksville, and so that was like a 2-hour delay. So altogether, it was like 6 hours.
Gotcha. Either way, that's a
right
thing to do.
Yeah, it's a pretty douchey thing to do.
Yeah. All right. So we know that you are blonde on the pond, right? That's what your the vlog or whatever that you got going on, right?
Yes, Blonde on the Pond. Yes.
So I would imagine that you do mostly bank fishing.
Well, I do kayak fish, and I fish from, at the lake and, bass boats and so forth. So I have a lot of friends that fish. So yeah, I'm usually a co-angler.
So every day when you're like going out in the morning before work or going on your lunch break, how I see on your Instagram and stuff, or Facebook, I should say, is that on the boat? Is that on a boat or on a kayak?
Well, sometimes sometimes I take my kayak out, and then sometimes I just fish from the bank. So it just depends on like how much time I've got, whether I want to throw my kayak in the back of my truck and load it, unload it. It's usually hot, and I'm usually like, yeah, I'm just gonna make a quick trip and fish from the bank. So anyway,
right.
Except for like at night or in the evenings when I've got more time and it's cooled down a little bit, then that's more likely when I would take my kayak out. So
I got you. What got you into fishing?
Well, when I was younger, I grew up on a farm, and my family's always farmed, and we've always lived on a farm pretty much. And we used to fish when every once in a while when I was little, and then my sister's ex-husband, when they were married, like we used to fish a lot. So and I really liked it. We had a lot of fun. And then, so when I got divorced, I was married for 8 years. And whenever I got divorced and was moving back to Illinois and graduated college, I needed a hobby. And I just kind of, kind of threw myself into it, just delve in. Kind of, I wanted to learn everything there was about fishing. And I was just really intrigued by it, the different weather conditions, atmospheric pressure, temperature, baits, bodies of water, grasses, that sort of thing, ledges. So I just really got into it, wanted to learn everything I could about it.
I think it's one of those things that's kind of like, it's kind of like poker. You can learn the basics really quick, but to master it, it takes a lifetime.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've been doing it now for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't remember how old my daughter was, but she was little when she wanted me to take her fishing. I didn't own a rod or reel. And I feel like I talk to buddies of mine that are trying to get into it, and they're like, you know so much. And I feel like I don't know anything.
Yeah. It's always, it's always a learning experience, and it's always, it's testing everything basically, it's just, I don't know.
There's so many factors.
It's pretty hard it's like with me, I've noticed, I do fish a lot of ponds and smaller lakes, and it's like one summer, one lure might, work great. Like 2 years ago, I had fantastic luck with, pink flukes, and then like after that, nope, none, zero. So, and now it's like this summer, it's been Nico rigs, it's been yum dingers with a 1/8 or 1/16 nail weight. So on like a sea hook, that's been my go-to. But then today, like, I think that the weather change and so forth, and I've noticed that like there's a lot of post spawning going on because there's a lot of blood dripping off tails off these females that I'm catching, and I think maybe they're just kind of like laying low right now and trying to like recoup. But I tried a creature bait with a bullet weight today, and that did really well. So I might have to change my game plan.
That sounds good. From one thing that I've learned since we started this podcast was that, the seasons and the temperatures and things are a little different between, where I'm at in North Alabama and like where you're at in Illinois and where some other people are at in the country that tune in.
Mm-hmm.
But the the patterns and what the fish are doing really aren't that much different.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you talked about bow fishing and kayak fishing. Do you tournament fish, or is it all just for fun?
No, I do some tournaments too. Whenever, like my schedule allows it, and if I've got a friend that needs a co-angler, and I'm always like, pick me, who wants to fish a tournament? Call me. So that's usually how that goes. I'm always up for a tournament. I've been to Alabama twice now. I went to Pickwick and had a boat wreck and didn't get to fish the first time. And that was like 4 or 5 months ago. Like 4 months ago. And then I go back to Decatur, and once again, it's like, this sucks. Really sucks.
Right.
But I'm going back in October, so
October, huh?
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Hopefully you're just taking your kayak and you're going to say F everybody else and you're just going to do your own thing.
I am. I think I'm going to do that just for
right.
just
At
for
least
a solid plan B.
Yeah.
Well, whenever I talked to you guys that morning, I was expecting, I was like, okay, so this was like a total fail, lemons and lemonade. I'll just go to the marina and rent a bass boat, and I'll do it on my own. I can freaking do this. I'll fish all the freaking time. But no, right. You guys looked at me like, there's no bass boats here. I'm like, oh, dang. But anyway, that was a cool experience.
It was cool that you got to see the first ever debut of Eric Jackson's Apex tier.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I was actually happy that you had me in the background of some of your GoPro footage or camera footage because because all the footage off my GoPro is gone.
Oh no, for real?
Yeah, that's why I never posted it, because I tried to render the video and it was all corrupt or something. I don't know. It's all gone. There's nothing. It's not even there anymore. It just deleted itself. Man. So.
Oh crap! I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's cool. I got some of the video on my good camera before all those batteries died, but I was hoping to get a lot of the interview stuff on my GoPro that I had, and my little ride on the kayak that I took on. I took the GoPro on the kayak, and I didn't get any of it. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a really neat experience.
I haven't gotten any questions from anybody on here. Usually the guys that are watching are chiming in and saying stuff and whatever. So they're being pretty quiet tonight.
Probably because there's a chick talking.
Yeah. Chicks that fish, man, are cool.
No, they're like, oh, she doesn't know nothing. Her lady brain.
Yeah. So, do you change?
I want to make sure I'm here
up there? Are you just a primarily bass fisherwoman?
Well, it depends on the seasons. In the springtime, around spawning season, my friend, one of my best friends since grade school, Jesse, that grew up down the road from me, we do a lot. Well, we do, we'll go fish for crappie and bluegill and red ear. So I do that, some just, spawning season. And then we'll probably go back here in a couple weeks and hit it again. So.
Right on.
But, when it's hot, it's like you want to see hot, fish when it's hot. And
you ever go pike or muskie fishing?
No, I've never been, and I haven't done that, and I haven't done deep sea fishing yet either. I need to try that out, I think.
2 years ago, I did my first offshore, seawater offshore fishing little expedition, and I got sick as hell.
You did?
It wasn't even that bad. The whole ride, I was good. We started fishing. I got a shark, and then I'm just standing there, and it started getting hot, and I was like, just hit me like a wave. All of a sudden, I don't feel good. And 2 seconds later, I was puking, and I puked so hard I blacked out and almost fell overboard.
Oh my gosh. I've never, I mean, I went on a cruise, and I guess that's like about as, and been on boats on lakes and stuff, but I didn't really, I don't know if I would get sick or not. Well, when I got off the cruise, though, I felt like I was like still doing this for like 5 days. It was crazy feeling, but yeah.
I've never been on a cruise.
And yeah, it's not for me. I wasn't too impressed with it. Being stuck on a boat for like days on end, and you can only like eat so much and gamble so much and drink so much.
Right.
So, yeah.
But, Mr. Chris Marks would like to know what lakes you primarily fish.
Usually Kentucky Lake and Reelfoot. I fish Reelfoot Lake in Tennessee and Lake of Egypt in southern Illinois. And there's like other small lakes and Crab Orchard Lake in southern Illinois as well. And there's some other smaller lakes in like Carroll County, Tennessee that I fished. So quite a bit this summer, actually.
Which your go-to or closest to home?
The closest one here, well, I'm kind of smack dab in the middle between the lake of Egypt, and it's near Marion, Illinois, and Kentucky Lake, which is in Marshall County, Kentucky, or it's Barkley and Kentucky Lake. So
I drive by over whatever little section of Kentucky Lake every time I drive back to Iowa to see my parents, and man,
yep, and go through Metropolis.
I want to fish it so bad. I do. We drive through Metropolis every time.
I know. Yeah, you should. You totally should.
You may have to drink or something.
Do what?
So now that I know that you're around Metropolis, I might have to just stop there on purpose to have a drink or something.
I know. You guys need to swing through. I mean, heck.
It might be Christmas
I'm trying
time.
to find the show here so I can share it.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm trying to talk and multitask.
Or Jeremy Coughlin on YouTube. Either way, the live feed's on both.
Okay. There we go. I found it.
Cool.
So
yeah, Chris,
a
couple more years of kayak under my belt, but I'd had a couple of years of kayak under my belt when I tried it. I don't know if it's a whole lot different.
Okay. Here we go.
Cool.
Okay.
You might have to mute it if you're going to leave it on. I can hear it.
I'm turning it off. I'm sorry. I got bad feedback here. Trying to throw it out of the way here. But trying to share it on mine as well.
You mentioned some new baits that you've been trying this year. Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite as far as like baits go?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I do. I started using the Ned, I've always loved the Ned rig. I love to finesse fish. A lot of people don't, but I do. Now, tournament, you can't do that because it's like speed fishing. It's like trying to get it done. It's like land the plane, catch the fish, and go. But I like the top water in the morning. I've been having really good luck with the Black Loon Whopper Plopper, and same as like in the evenings, that's been hitting really well. So
I've yet to catch it for this year. I'm actually
the Nico rig. Do what? I'm sorry.
I've caught quite a few topwater, but I haven't caught anything with my Whopper Plopper this year, so it's a little.
You haven't?
I haven't. No.
Well, what color is your favorite that you use?
It's gold.
The gold. I haven't ever used. It's not the bone. Is it the bone one?
No. It's like it's almost like shiny gold with like scales and stuff painted on it. It was like one of the first.
I've never used that.
Yeah. That was my favorite. The paint's almost about to come off. Like there's spots where the paint's all chipped off. I've worn it out, but this year just hasn't worked out.
I never keep them that long. I always lose mine. That's an expensive lure to lose.
It is.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish swimming around my pond that's got, some expensive piercings, and
I bet.
I need to get a big old magnet out there and toss and see what I can drag back up out of all these places I fish. But
I tied on a brand new chatterbait and went to cast it, and I don't know what I did. It must have had sweat in my eye or something, but I didn't tie the knot very well, and it slung right off, and it was brand new. I just tied it on.
Oh, I hate that. I've done that before too. Yeah.
Yep. So, what's your favorite rod, reel, like go-to bait if you're going to hit a new body of water? That's one of the questions we ask everybody. Like, what do you have? What's your confidence booster? This is what I'm going to catch a fish with first.
Well, I don't know. It depends on the time of day and where I'm at, really. Like, if there's lily pads,
where you've never been before.
Do what?
Going to somewhere you've never been before.
I'm probably okay. So if it's not real lily paddy-ish, I'm probably going to use like a Nico rig. If it's really early in the morning, I'm probably going to use like some sort of top water, though.
I mean, we know top water's kind of a given.
Yeah.
As far as like your go-to, as far as rod and reel with that as well.
Oh, my rod and reel. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I love my Abu Garcia. And I fish with a spinning reel. I know. I have a bait caster. I use it sometimes, but
I don't care what people say. I primarily fished with a spinning reel for like 5 years. Never touched a bait caster. I've just now gotten to where I'm comfortable with the bait caster this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I primarily use spinning reel because I like skipping under trees and smacking it against stuff, like the bank and whatever. And you can't do that with a caster very easily. You got to be pretty skilled to do that. And I'm not there yet. So, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. But, I have a fluger reel that I love. So I've had it forever. It's like worn half to death. The handle's about to break off of it, I'm pretty sure.
Just got to keep it loose.
Yep.
Cool. You got a favorite line?
A what?
You have a favorite line, fishing line?
I've been using Suffix a lot lately, and I like it. Mono. So
I can't stand it.
Well, I always use braid or like braid with the mono lead or I don't know. It just depends. I try all kinds of crap. I'm just like, I'm going to try this. No, I'm going to try this time. Or, I'm always using something different or trying out something different or whatever I've got on hand or, it's just that sort of thing. So.
I've really gone from, I started out a crankbait sort of power fisherman. That was like, that's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to do anything else. And now I take like one power rod with me. Everything else is finesse. And I have a frog rod that goes with me now.
Right.
But I mean, it's almost all finesse.
Yeah, so I know. I'm like a finesse.
10 pound or 12 pound fluorocarbon, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've usually got like 14, I guess. So. But yeah, right. I mean, it's always something different. Just whatever I've got on hand or in my truck or, it depends on like which vehicle I'm in, if I'm in my car or whether I'm in my truck, because I've got fishing stuff in both. So,
right.
Because I get off work and and people are like, "You're fishing in a dress? Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "It's not like I'm freaking cleaning the damn fish. I'm catching them and like releasing them. I mean, these clothes will wash. I don't buy anything that's dry clean only, so it's like it's okay. Don't get all upset." But
I thought it was cool, man. I don't know. It was a few weeks ago, right before I think you were going to try the first time you coming on. You had like this. You were like, all femaled up. You were in like a black dress with like some heels or something, and you had this big ass bass, and I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Well, it's like it's burning daylight right now, and I live way out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm not gonna like go home and change clothes and then go fishing. I'm gonna go straight there, before I get home if I want to fish. And
Right.
I do a lot of online tournaments, so that's why I do that as well. So because you've got so many days to catch, your limit. So you're just out there pounding away at it, when you work and your schedule's kind of unforgiving and, it's getting later in the year and the days are getting shorter. You just take advantage of it and just go whenever you can. So.
Right on. I had to reset my camera. It froze.
Oh, gotcha.
It's got this thing where the viewfinder and the display is set on like a 30-minute timer, and I can't shut it off. And there's no real fix for it. So it is what it is. Chris Marks asked you if you caught any Asian carp on Kentucky Lake. He said he had one jump in the boat, and he heard they are on their way to the river.
Yeah, the carp are bad. They've taken over so much. I mean, between the carp taking over, like the bass and the crappie and so forth on Kentucky Lake, and you said it's like that, it's like the propeller motion. It just like stirs them up and, gets them to, I know people have had the crap knocked out of them. I've never caught one with, on a rod and reel, I don't think. Now I have gone snagging out of the Ohio River and caught some big ones. Those things are disgusting. That mess. No. Bye, Felicia.
I can't say that I've ever been around them. I've seen all kinds of it. People driving through and get smacked and them jumping in the boat and going crazy or whatever. But
yeah, I had a friend that got her nose broke by one.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I've never caught one on a rod and reel.
So what got you into doing vlogging and the radio and all the stuff that you're doing about fishing? Like, how did you get started on that? What
actually, I worked whenever I got divorced and moved back and got like big into fishing again, I started working at the Metropolis Public Library and I did programming, and I decided, we started through the state of Illinois, we started getting like rods and reels and like little tackle packets in for people where you could check out a rod and reel and like you got your tackle for free. And these parents loved it, but especially like the women, their kids wanted to do this so bad, but they had no idea what they were doing. So I started teaching classes and stuff on it. Like, we did little things like making spider jigs and, I taught them how to like tie different knots and, what to use, what kinds of baits to use for what kind of fish and what was in season and where, depending on where they were fishing and the importance of getting their fishing permits and so forth. So I guess that's kind of like, and then I started doing it like tutorials, like online tutorials. And now I'm doing it for the McCracken County Library where I work at now in Kentucky. So that's just basically how I started doing it. And it's just kind of I started to do it for like women and kids and started doing classes for families that wanted to learn how to fish but had no idea what they were doing. Just kind of, just a basic techniques class. So.
And you're still doing that at the McCracken County Library?
Well, I was until the COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's all online, I do all kinds of different tutorials like crafts and cooking and, stuff like that. Right. Fishing and.
That's cool.
Yep. But yeah, that's kind of how that took off. But.
So do you have aspirations on what's next? Is there something big coming next, or are you just happy where you're at?
Well, I have the radio show like, every day. Someone came to talk to me from WPSD in Paducah, News Channel 6, before COVID. My dog's whining, sorry. Before COVID started. And so they wanted me to do like a weekly, like just couple minute segment, like a fishing tip type thing. And I was so stoked about that. And then like all this crap happened and it just hasn't really gone anywhere. So.
Oh, really? I mean, I don't know what the hell
Yeah.
COVID has to do with you being on the news.
Well, I don't know. Well, in Kentucky, you know, it's like very mandated. It's like very socially distancing now. So, I mean, they're not trying to put people in buildings with each other, basically. So, Kentucky's really taking this really serious. But.
Chris Marks, he said here in Huntsville, you can go check out a nuke, a CD, a movie, but no fishing gear from the library.
Yeah, that's kind of a special thing, I think. Well, in Metropolis, like we had the fishing, the rods and reels, and you could check out. I mean, we had guitars and GoPros and, you know, different stuff like that. So, like knitting kits, even. But in Kentucky, we don't have it. I wish it might be a thing in the future, but you never know. So,
I mean, what's the population of Metropolis? Like 1,500?
You know, 1,500? No.
Oh, no.
No, you know, honestly, I don't know what it is now. I have no idea.
The town
I
that
just kind of buy it. Are we froze? Yes. Oh, we broke the camera. Well, I don't know what's going on. Huh. I don't know what's going on. I guess Jeremy left. I guess it froze up. And I can't see comments. Hopefully he'll be back in a second, folks. I wish I could talk to you, but I can't. Let's see here.
Sorry about that. I don't know what the crap happened, but my whole internet
Are
crashed.
we back? I was like, oh no.
Yeah, sorry about that. The whole StreamYard website that I do it through, it just crashed.
I just now saw these comments. Hey, Amanda.
Huh.
I just now saw these. I had no idea.
Oh, the comments? It's okay.
Yeah. It's just now Yeah, I just now saw these.
I mean, I sent her the link, but I guess she's having issues. She's still driving home. Yeah.
Are you close, Amanda? Hurry up and join in.
There's a 2-hour drive if you left at 3. So, you know, it's 7 now. I don't know, 4.5 hours to do a 2-hour drive, but, you know, that's my wife.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's all women, Jeremy. Come on. You know, we have to pee like 6 times and we have to get food and there might be a sale with some clothes like at a consignment shop. You never know.
Something caught her eye. That's what it was.
Probably. She might come home with a new purse or a new fishing rod.
I mean, I doubt it, but she'll just come home, be late. It's okay. All right. So, do you have a person that you like fish with the most? You know, are you in like a tournament series or do you just do like the weekend one-time tournament stuff?
Usually just like the weekend one-time tournament stuff. But my person of choice to fish with that I always fish with is probably my friend Jessie because like we've done it since we, you know, for years, quite a few years now. So And we've been friends since we were like, I mean, he grew up like 2 miles down the road from me here. The house that I live in now is the house that I grew up in. And his parents live down the road from me. And we've known each other since we were like little kids. So, yeah, he's more into like, pan fishing. He's a big crappie fisherman. So,
I mean, crappie tastes
he used
good.
to be big into bass. He got burned out on it. So,
Right.
I still love it. I'll probably never get bored with bass fishing. I'm always trying to catch bigger bass and kiss them and put them back.
Even with the tournament trails and all the stuff that I'm trying to do, and hopefully do more of it next year, it's still that next catch still gets my heart racing, and that's everything that I go out for.
Yep, I know it. It's just one of those things, and like I've got friends that are like, I don't see why you love fishing so much. And I'm like, I don't know. I just do. It's like, it's like everybody has their thing. Some people play golf. Some people play, play poker, or, women like to go get their nails done or whatever. I don't know. I'm not into that stuff. But it's just, to each their own. One of those things. It's like you find your niche and, you just kind of like throw yourself into it like I did. Yep.
Sorry about that. She was texting me, so I had to reply real quick. But you got any big tournaments coming up, or are you just kind of trying to close out the season up there?
No, well, I don't know. I have to look and see. There's one coming up on Kentucky Lake that I'm fishing in September, so I need to check on that one. And I'm going back to Alabama to Gunnersville in October. So fingers crossed. Like I said, like I'm taking my kayak this time. That's a definite yes.
What are you doing in October?
Do what?
Is it a specific tournament, or are you just coming down to fish?
No, well, it's like a club tournament, so that some friends and I are gonna partake in. I don't even know what it is, honestly, but I'm like, y'all can't stand me up because I'm never coming back to Alabama to fish ever again because this is my second time. The first time I died. The second time I felt like I was gonna die because I had a panic attack and I was pissed off that I win. But anyway, here gets my over here. So.
They've all failed.
Do you and Amanda fish tournaments, or?
Amanda's getting to where she wants to start doing some tournaments, kayak tournaments.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean she catches fish almost every time she goes out, so there's no reason not to.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Do you all take a bass boat, or do you all always just do kayaks?
Well, we do kayaks because I'm not rich enough to have a bass boat.
Kayaks are fun.
Yeah. I mean, truth be told, I believe that being on a kayak, it makes me a better angler because I have to have a better game plan. You know what I mean? Like I have to do my research and have to know where I'm going, what I'm doing, because I'm not driving 15, 20 miles if my first spot don't work out. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
So I think it makes me better.
One of my fishing buddies, she was my partner for an online tournament, Cher Kardashian. She's from Texas, and she catches some monsters. So down at is it Lake Fork, I believe? I think she fishes a lot of different places in Texas, but she does a lot of sight fishing, and she's really good at it. It's like everything is so orchestrated on her kayak, it's unbelievable how she's got her GoPro rigged and, her just everything. Everything's got its place. So,
I mean, it's got to.
Right. I know. You can't be all like willy nilly and throwing crap everywhere like I usually do. But
well, I learned my lesson on that and I fell in the 50-degree water. So yeah, I've gotten kind of OCD about mine too.
I bet. Yeah, I think that's genius. Like with the Jackson kayaks or the Apex kayaks, with the whole, the magnet thing, and you're like, I've been doing that forever. And I'm like, I never would have thought of this. How smart is that? That's like, oh my gosh, what a game changer. So,
right? It looks like the wife is trying to come on here. Let's see what we got. Oh no, let's do this. There we go.
yay!
Hey, babe.
Hi. So I'm driving. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm not sure if
Yeah.
the sound is okay.
Yeah.
Good. Hi, Miss Blonde. I was so excited to
Hi, me
too.
I
And,
know. I'm sorry it didn't work out the last 2 times.
I know, it's crazy. It's like fate was trying to keep us apart, but here we are. So I've been
I know. I was in tears. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad right now.
oh man. So we got everything worked out. I think I've missed bits and pieces of like what kind of questions that he's asked you and stuff along the way. So if I like double ask you a question or whatever, just because there's kids in the back and all kinds of stuff. So, but anyway,
Go
what do you
ahead.
guys?
What do you got to ask?
Oh well, I love the name Blonde on the Pond, but I was wondering if it's because you're just
Thank you.
specifically like on the pond only, or are you like you do rivers, lakes, do it all, or like what's your favorite? Is the pond fishing your
A little
favorite?
bit of everything. Since I live out in the middle of the country and there's so many ponds out here, and it's it's kind of a convenience thing. It usually is ponds, but I've gotten more into lake fishing, and I started fishing more in the river a little bit. Well, and snagging for like we're talking about fishing for a carp, and I've snagged for carp, and they're disgusting. Those are the nastiest fish. Oh my gosh, it's like I won't touch them. It's gross. It makes me want to gag.
That and like,
But anyway.
You'll see the activity in the water, and you're thinking, oh man, there's fish here, but it's not a bass, it's a carp, and it's just it gets me all excited for no reason. It's just carp. Carp and turtles.
I know.
Are my biggest enemies.
I know. It's like, well, that one's too good to be true. That is a carp. It ticks me off, but yeah.
Right.
Did Jeremy
Anytime
tell
I
his story
see a
about
fish
his
sticking out of
encounters with
the
carp?
water like it's a shark. It's a carp.
Do what? Did he what? His
Did you
carp
tell
story?
Yes, where he nearly pissed himself in the middle of his kayak when he got scared by the carp.
No.
I mean, we were on. I kind of jailbroke into a pond and was fishing it, and I didn't know that there was carpzillas in there, and I'm sitting there casting, and it's like raining and like nobody's out. That's why I took my kayak on this little pond. But I mean, I was catching bass. I must have caught 70 bass in a couple hours. I mean, the pond is loaded, but they charge like $5,000 the rights to fish it. And I just didn't want to pay it. So I just went fishing in the worst day possible and did good. But I did something. I don't know. I paddled or something. And 30-foot circle of water around me just erupts like a volcano. And I almost fell out, and I almost pissed myself, and almost shat myself because I didn't know what the hell. I thought it was a gar. Like, the thing was bigger than my kayak, and I was in a 12-foot kayak. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, holy, I don't know what's going on, but that's huge. Those are huge fish. And then I spent like an hour and a half trying to catch one, and they had no interest in anything in my tackle box. Found out it was a carp and figured out.
How many do you think there were? Were they just like circling you?
No, it was just, they were all together, and they were in this like
great big school.
And I was in the middle of them.
They get spooked easy. I didn't know that they got spooked like that.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
They get spooked and they just go batshit crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's
like,
and I thought I was
I never caught a griddle before, and I've caught like 2 griddle this summer, and those things are gross too. I caught one the other day and it had maggots crawling out of its nose. It was disgusting.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was gross. It's like a trash fish. It's like,
put your little makeup
well,
light
we
on.
call it dogfish. But
Amanda Coughlin, you should flip your little visor makeup light on.
Oh. Better to see me with, huh?
No, like we
I'm-
can't see you. It's
I'm
just
driving. Is this better? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
Well, don't
getting-
wreck.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, I'm just like, my gas light's on too. So I just like to live on the wild side.
You're like, I know my car. I
That's
got
right.
this.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm just hoping it's prayed for.
It's a
This car's
chick
prayed
thing.
for.
All right, stop. Get gas.
I'm gonna as soon as there's an exit. So
Okay.
you know, Pigeon is she's in the back here in her bathing suit. It's been a day. It's been a day.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm glad you can see me now. I didn't know what is it a griddle or a gremmel? Like what kind
A
of
grinnell.
what did you say that-
Grinnell, I think. Grinnell.
Sounds like a gremlin.
Yeah, kind of.
Sounds
They look like pretty gross. It's like it's kind of like in the guard. It's just a trash fish. It's like a fish you don't want to catch.
Gotcha.
And they have teeth, so you can't thumb it. You can't whip it.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, that's why I always like to have either my husband or a pair of fish grips around.
Yes.
Things like that are unexpected. So,
Right.
If I look at a fish's mouth and I see teeth, guess what? My thumb don't go in it.
you know,
Right. Well, I never caught one before, and my friend Chris, he's like, "Don't let that damn thing in my boat. They're gross." And I'm like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I don't even know what I caught." I'm like, "It's got
Can you
teeth.
put a
What
picture
the
of one up
crap?"
on the screen, babe?
No,
Oh,
not
darn
going
it.
through all that.
Okay. Well, I'm very curious to see what it looks like. Now I'm gonna have to do my research when we get off the video chat here.
Right.
They have these gloves like in the saltwater fishing area,
Yes.
most of the outdoor stores. And I have some of those gloves, and they're awesome because, like, I guess when you're saltwater fishing, you never know what's going to come out of there. It could have spines or fangs or teeth or whatever, be poisonous. I don't know. But those gloves are so handy.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know still, even with the glove, if I would put my hand in the mouth of a fish that had teeth.
Aren't they called seals or something? What are those called?
The gloves? I think that
Yeah.
one I have just like the Walmart brand. So, but I'm not really sure. Like fish gloves is what I call them.
Well, yeah, I need it. Are yours waterproof too?
No. Your hands are gonna get wet. It's just basically to keep you from getting like cut by
okay.
this. Yeah. Like because we were shark fishing and stuff, and so yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I need some to wear like in the wintertime to keep my hands dry because I fish in the winter and it's like so flipping cold. Like at 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm a dummy that goes out and fishes that early before work. Or, like I have no common sense. None.
I go out early in the morning. I discovered a pond fairly close to our house, like very close to our house, which is like a honey hole, like no other.
Mhm.
I'm still tooting my own horn about that one. And I've been over there a couple times early in the morning, and I don't know if I can hang in the winter. He comes back and his hands are so chapped and just, it's rough.
Frozen. Oh yes. Yeah, but somebody was talking about these gloves that are they're like walrus or seal. I can't remember what they're called, but I know it's some animal like that. It's like that type of skin. It's like a rubbery, that doesn't let your hands get wet. So, but I need to get a pair for this.
We need to find out what those are
soon because it's getting that time.
Just go whack a baby
I
seal.
know. How dare you? Don't even say that, Jeremy. God.
How about a dolphin?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that.
I skipped out.
I'd totally
Right.
kill a
I missed
beaver for sure, but
Oh.
I wouldn't do that to.
And a raccoon
That's
and a
understandable.
baby bird
I didn't kill the raccoon. I was just messing with it.
and the baby bird.
The baby bird was dead and got hooked.
Listen, this is the only person I know that goes fishing and catches a bird, catches a baby raccoon. What else did you catch? Oh, you caught a balloon in the living room with your fishing pole.
I did.
Yeah.
Still waiting on the video from
Wait
my
a
wife.
second. You caught a raccoon? How does a person catch a raccoon?
was
Were you
fishing
like,
He's
in the
amazing.
water, and then this little baby raccoon comes flying out of the grass like a little drunk skunk trying to catch my bait.
It was so cute. I wanted to be its mom.
Yeah.
they are so funny, their little fingers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hands.
So,
So-
Amanda Beth, do you have any, like beginner tips that you could give any potential ladies or kids that would be listening to the show? Because that seems to be your specialty.
Well, it would depend on if for anyone starting out, I would start, start with something easy, like, fishing for panfish, using like crappie jigs, minnows, something like that, crickets, whenever, for red ear. It's like start small. Don't go, it's like you got to crawl before you walk. And it's easier that way. That's what I started with, And then I started catching bass on crappie jigs. And that's when I was like, I'm going to start catching bass like on purpose now.
Right.
So that's when I, wanted to like read about it and learn about it. Was when I was like, I was like, man, these things are awesome, because I was catching like 3-pounders on just like, a chartreuse jig. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this for real. So
Chartreuse is my favorite color.
That's when I really
my favorite color to fish with.
Well, I was so done when I started bass fishing too. It's like I wanted to try everything. I tried every stupid thing possible. Y'all, I had like a purple worm on a 4 offset hook with like 2 split shots and a bobber like a foot above it. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I was catching the crap out of big bass.
Wow.
But it's all like trial and error. It's all silly stuff. And then I guess that I'm like, okay, I know this isn't right. I know this is like the dumbest combination possible. And then that's when I started like learning like what to use. It was like similar to that. Like,
I mean, it doesn't really matter if it worked. You're still catching fish. Obviously, it wasn't too bad.
That's true. Right. Well, I was catching 6-pounders on that stupid combination. So, I mean.
Right.
Dang. That's impressive.
Yeah.
You said something earlier.
Yeah, these kind
a couple whoppers there a couple weeks ago at that little pond she was talking about.
Sit in the back. Get in the back.
It had to
they were good.
7 pounds, the big one, and then 5 or 6 pounds on the second one, and they were good fish.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
I know. It's like, do what?
Get in the back. I was so excited catching those fish. Like, people don't understand. Like, I have a lot of friends of mine that are like, you're like one of those redneck boys we went to high school. Every time we look at your social media, you're holding up a fish and you're like, look what I got. And I'm like, it's like such a thrill. And you said something earlier that you were teaching classes and stuff at the library for like single moms with kids that didn't.
Yeah.
Like, it is intimidating. I had this group, and if somebody was telling me to take them fishing, I'd be like, no, until I was at the beach and a family member was helping us fish, helping us, figure it all out. And, got Willow, my daughter, interested in throwing a pole out, and she caught a flounder, and then I was hooked. Once I started catching things, it's like a deal when you're shopping. It's the same excitement to me that, I'm versatile with that one, but that's really awesome that you did that.
Accomplishment. It makes your heart.
It is. It's a prize. And I mean, like, I love it. And do you still do those classes and stuff like that at the library?
Well, not right now, because it's, I had one scheduled, and then the COVID, and Kentucky is really mandated right now on what we can do. So everything, all of our programming is virtual. So I'm doing all my programs online. So I've done a jig making class online, and I put together a top water fishing tutorial, and it played this last Sunday, and you can check out on McCracken County Library's Facebook page and YouTube. But I mean, we've had to cancel everything. We can't do, any, because it's all social distancing. Everybody has to wear a mask, and we can't do, one-on-one stuff right now.
I know, it's so crazy.
Group stuff.
Mommy, can you say hi to Gary?
You should be able to do a Facebook group.
I know.
and everybody tune in and like check it out.
Well, we tried that with some stuff, and it really didn't go well.
Really?
Nobody would chime. Nobody
Hi,
would tune
Jenny.
in. Yeah, we've had some
Sorry, they had to say hi. Keep going. We didn't mean to interrupt.
I already heard him say hi, and I waved at him.
He waved at you guys. That was you waving. Now get in the back seat. You look like a wild kid.
Hi. Hi.
She says hi too. Wave bye.
You orphans need to get in the back seat.
Oh man,
Long
Tina looks like a cave woman coming out of the back.
Get in the back.
I was gonna hang up a curtain. I regret not doing that now.
You're not supposed to feed
It's
the
fine. Everybody's got kids. We get it.
So Tinley of those kids in the back, the littlest one, the one that looked like the caveman coming from the back, she loves to fish. Loves to fish. Like, it's hard for me because I also love to fish. So when I'm fishing, I'm really focused on fishing, and Jeremy is the better one of us two, and teaching them, being patient, and helping them catch fish. But Tinley, she's all about it. She's all about it. So I really should nurture that. And
yeah, will she take her fish off the hook and stuff? Does she do that?
she gets a little squeaky and a little squeezy, and but then Papa Bear gets it off, and then he'll hold it up close to her face and freak her out completely until she touches it. So we're trying to break that fear. So
Right.
I just where she says, "Can I touch it?" And then she touches it, and then
yeah.
good.
But now my son, he'll touch anything, even a purple orchid from the bottom of the ocean. He has no fear whatsoever. Drives me nuts, but yeah, he'll catch a fish with his bare hand. No joke.
Oh, boys.
I like that they like to go fishing. It is a bit of a
That's
chore.
awesome that they do.
Did Jeremy tell you how he got started fishing to begin with? Was because his daughters, Madison and Alexis, were just, what did they come home one day, babe, and say, we want to learn how to fish, and then started your love
Basically.
of bass fishing?
Yeah, I told her I didn't own a rod and
That's
reel.
yeah, he said, I didn't even have a rod or a reel or anything.
I didn't have the money to go
cool.
get it either. But what I did have is like 1 million Hilton Honors points from all my overseas travel. So I just cashed it in and spent it all at the Hilton Honors Mall online and bought a bunch of fishing crap.
That's awesome, though. Well, that's
Yeah.
I started out with a Zebco that had probably 3 eyes left on it.
Yeah,
I didn't care.
right.
It's I'm gonna blow a bunch of money if I'm just starting out and I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it or not. And I did, and I'm like, I probably should get some better stuff. So it's
That's what I was
not
telling
cheap.
I got a
At all.
and some nicer stuff. And I said, fish with the cheap stuff, right? If you can learn how to fish with that crappy cheap stuff, you'll really appreciate the good stuff if you stay with it.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I was missing out on having an Abu Garcia pole. It was cheap poles for me. My first pole was a Walmart deep or saltwater pole, and then he got me a nice pole, and it was nice to fish with that. And then one day I grabbed one of his more expensive ones that I'm not supposed to touch, but I did anyway. And I fell in love, and then he surprised me as an anniversary gift, got me my first, I guess you could say,
Top of the line.
And I love it. I love it. There is a difference, y'all. There is a difference, but both kinds it's gonna catch fish.
Really
no matter
is.
what the cost is. But I love that fancy one that he got me. So, plus, it's pretty too.
Yeah, I know. It does make a huge. Yeah, if you got a nice rod and reel, it does make a big. And I didn't realize until this summer when I was using my friend Chris's rod and reel and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a Cadillac.
Oh, really?
I mean, I feel like I've been driving like the Nissan of fishing poles, and then I use a really good one, and it's like, wow, what a huge difference.
Hey, there's the Ferrari. Can we talk about bait casters? Do you use bait casters?
You know, sometimes, but I get real ticked off and they make me cry when like I've got a humongous bird's nest and it's like, really? I don't have the patience for this right now. So then I just like put it away and I like get out my spinning reels. So yeah, I mean I like them, but I'm not great at it and it frustrates me. So
Okay, go.
yeah, they're frustrating. Do you like them?
No, I don't like them because at first I'll say that I was a little judgy because, you know, like when you're younger and you see the kids and they all have that push button reel and they push the button that, you know, it goes out. To me, that's like, you know, the bait caster or whatever. So when he showed me what he was talking about, like a bait caster, he was talking about it like, you know, it takes a little bit of finesse and a little bit of skill and it's not just as easy as the open reel. And I'm thinking the open reel is like hard as it gets. You know what I mean? No, you're going back to basics like a little kid with this push button, essentially. Only now shit can get tangled really quickly.
You have to put your thumb in the right place.
Yes. And I'll be
just like on a woman.
Hey, I'll be slinging that thing and I mean, putting some back into it. I'm throwing it like a softball, underhanding, overhanding. I'm trying to find the sweet spot and it's going like 10 feet. It don't matter. I can't get it out there with the open reel. I mean, I can cast 30, 40 feet, like, you know, not perfectly, but
right,
way better than a bait caster. So I'm a hater for the bait caster, I guess, until I learn how to do it.
I know, when everybody gives me so much crap.
I don't know what a DC is, but
say that again, Jeremy.
Chris Mark says to invest in a DC bait caster.
Is that a brand?
I mean, it sounds like it, yeah. I don't know if that's like a dollar or something or whatever. I don't know what DC is, but
I'll have to talk to my sponsor.
They are forgiving, just starting out, and you can skip them, which I can't do with a bait caster because I'm not talented enough.
Hell, I can't
Do
even
you all
throw
like
a bait caster.
fishing like bushes and stuff? Do y'all fish bushes and like? Do you all go and fish bushes? Do you all like to like flip bushes?
I do a lot of finesse. So I don't know about jigs and stuff, but I will skip under docks and under trees and into bushes and all kinds of stuff like that.
I'll all but scale a tree if I think there's a fish there, for sure. I'll hop up there and get around, and I even had to face my fears with spiders, and I got like spider bites on my arm or whatever because I was like in it. I was like, "There's a fish in there." I know, and there was. I caught two, but in the meantime, and I hate, like, deathly afraid of spiders, and I saw them on my boat, and I was just like, I don't even care. I'm gonna get a monster. It wasn't a big monster. I mean, it was like 18 inches. I don't know if it's worth the spider bite, but you know, then I realized I was like, okay, I'm gonna die from these spiders if I don't get out of here. But yeah, I mean,
what kind of spider was it? Was it just like a brown? Was it a brown recluse?
No, thank God they're not like. It's not like killing me. I mean, it's definitely irritated, but I'm not dying. So it's not a brown recluse. It's like a weird, babe. They were like a whitish color water spider or something.
Yeah, you know, we're fishing in lily pads and
really?
The grass cover and stuff. So I mean, there are spiders everywhere. If you go sit in it, there's spiders on your stuff.
Yeah, he tells me, he's like, babe, there's spiders back there.
Yeah.
I'm not going back there. I'm slowly paddling my way in there. Anyway, yep. If I think there's a fish back there, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm not big on spiders. I'm right there with you, sister. Yeah, not good. That and snakes. I don't want to be friends with those guys.
Yeah, no, not for me. But although we were fishing at behind a cemetery one time, and I'm going down over the hill. I'm frustrated that day, and he's like, "There's a snake crawling up the hill. It's gonna come down the other side." I'm like, "Well, it can come. I'm getting a fish." Like, you know, he got back in the truck. I was determined. So I think maybe that might be where my son gets it from. Probably should be a little bit safer. Fishing isn't supposed to be a dangerous sport.
We've got water moccasins really bad. One at our farm pond, and I had one that was like taunting me nonstop, and I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I look over, and there's a fish. This snake has a fish like, going down the. Because I was just tossing my bluegill to the side, you know, on the bank, and it had a bluegill in its mouth, dragging it back into the water. I'm thinking, oh
Dang.
my gosh, this is insane. These snakes are so aggressive.
Them snakes will get after it. They don't care.
Crazy,
That's why
crazy.
I have a fast Bowie knife and a hatchet on my kayak with me.
I know.
That's why I carry a bear with me.
I've heard so many stories of like, oh, snakes get in my boat, and you know, I'm like, oh my god, forget that. Ew.
I've seen the damn beaver almost every kayak tournament I've ever been in.
They antagonize you, babe.
I mean, that first tournament, Miss Amanda Beth, if you ain't seen it, you're going to have to go to my YouTube or my Facebook and check out the beaver video. But, I mean, you met me. I'm not a small guy, okay? And I met a beaver that was as wide, had shoulders as wide as mine. So,
Oh my gosh,
he came after me. And I
I thought
smacked
they're aggressive.
with my paddle, and it didn't work out. And it went under my kayak, and it literally lifted my kayak out of the water, and I dropped back in as it swam underneath me and went after my bro. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
it was cute. It was the biggest damn beaver I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I've heard that they can get huge. There was one at one of our ponds that, and they'll run a pond in like no time.
Oh yeah.
They'll destroy a pond.
I've heard
They're
that.
terrible. Yeah.
I like going to them backwaters, and that's where they seem to be.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
little
I have
dam.
never seen a beaver in the wild, like in the wild while fishing. I've never seen a beaver, but I'll tell you what. Shortly after he told the beaver story, there was, it rained a lot here around us, and at the front of our development, no joke, you come out of our development to the little, main road or whatever, and there was a beaver there on the side of the road. It was dead, but it was just there, and it stayed there for like a week and a half. I mean, I guess none of the neighbors were going to think it was a beaver, but I was like, babe, there's that beaver. He followed you home. I was just, who would have thought a beaver would be out there at the front of the development?
He's haunting you. He's coming after you.
That's what I said. He was trying to get you.
You know how
Right.
grumpy old men, they got old catfish killer? Well, I'm the
Yeah.
We need that on a t-shirt.
Mhm.
Do you all have armadillos where you live?
Yes. In our
You
backyard.
do? We just
Everywhere.
now, really? We never had them until like a couple years ago up here. I guess they're coming in on semis, but those are the craziest things. Oh,
They're invasive.
Most of them are on the road.
yeah. They carry leprosy and stuff. Ugh. Forget
Yeah.
that.
It is so
I like
hard
hearing
for
from
me to not have my road rage here while I'm driving, and I'm trying to be polite on the show, but ooh, I've been biting my tongue. You see me making funny faces, it's because I've got trying to hold in my Tourette's from this driving. But I'm gonna hop off here because I'm very close to the house and the kids are making a racket. So, Beth, I hope that we can get together when you come down to Alabama in October. It would be so fun.
I
Have you on the
know.
show. I'll show you some of my ponds down here. I'd love for it.
Yay! Yes, absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll see you
You
soon,
guys will
babe.
have to come through whenever you come through Metropolis, you'll have to stop next time too.
Yes. That right, babe.
Yeah,
We'll do it for sure.
I already talked about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, cheers to new friends, and I'm glad we got to meet each other.
Kinda.
I know.
COVID style podcast.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know how you
Yeah.
do it.
All right. Hopefully she's just here sitting beside me here in a minute. So that's usually like the amount of time that a person would stay for an interview. You're more than welcome to stay the rest of the show if you'd like. It's up to you. I don't know if you got other stuff going on.
Well, I can stay for a few more minutes. I got a puppy dog scratching at the door, and but I'm good for now.
Do you wanna talk about the sponsors that you got and maybe give them a shout out?
Sure. I just signing with Solar Bat and Quint, which they're a sunglass company. They're also one of your sponsors, and they're great. They have great eyewear and so forth. Dr. Gary's pretty awesome, and so is Miss Mandy. And Quint Utilities and Excavating, that is my family. So naturally, they're going to be one of my sponsors. So, and then TII Blakemore, I am in the process with signing with them. They have different types, brands of fishing hooks. So, yep, pretty good stuff. Yeah, I'm looking for more sponsors too. So, yeah, always.
September,
representing
the month that you need to start sending stuff out for your 2021 season.
I know.
Yeah, because I know quite a few companies they have their mind made up by November, the year before.
Yeah, a lot of mine are for October. So.
Yep. Right on. If you need to take the doggy out, man, it's all good. If you want to stay, I was going to see if you wanted to do a beginner tip of the week.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Sure.
I've got to let my dog in. He's scratching at the door. If I can run off for a minute.
So Chris, you said that they have a natural instinct. Are you talking about the armadillo? Because I think that's what we said to see the monkey on the road.
Oh.
Melinda, I'm not team beaver. Just gonna let you know that. I am anti-beaver, the animal. I am very much pro bald beaver.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go. Got another drink.
How to get my dog? Come here, Chance. Come on, Chance. Want to say hi? Come here. Come on. Come on.
Is he a wiener?
Oh, he's like no. No, he's a Springer Spaniel Dalmatian mix. He's awesome. He sings.
Oh, Lord.
Chance, come here. Come here. You want to sing? Chance, come here. Look. Come here. Come on. Here, get on this side of me. Looky here. Hey, can you sing? Sing. 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 There's my other child. These are my kids.
Oh, that's the one
He's
I
looking
saw.
for snacks.
I was thinking it was a wiener, but he looks like a chihuahua.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a chihuahua. Yeah, the little one is. This one's just looking for food. He's not going to sing. He's like, forget you. There's snacks to be eaten.
Right.
Gizmo. Shh. Sorry.
How long are you going to be in Alabama for come October?
What?
How long are you going to be in Alabama for in October?
It's like 3 days, I believe.
Okay.
I think it's the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I believe I'm heading home on the 13th.
Right on. Yeah, well, let us know if you want to get together. Have dinner or something.
I know. What? Yeah, we'll have to fit. How far is Gunnersville from you?
So most of the fishing spots, the big fishing spots that they have all the tournaments out of, it's about it's about an hour from my house.
Okay.
maybe a little more, depending on what time of day you're talking, but about an hour.
I thought that was about right. Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
from my house to where you and I met is about 40 minutes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a heck of a weekend.
It was interesting. I was so looking forward to that
Man.
Fishing Expo at the Von Braun, and then they closed it, man.
Me too. I was so stoked when you told me that. And I got online. I was like looking at stuff, and it's like, oh, well, this has been canceled because of the COVID. And I'm like, well, imagine that. Thanks. Well, there's that.
I was
That's
so
how
let
my
down.
life goes. I know. That sucks.
That expo is actually the one that I found New Canoe at, and that's like what got me really researching, because I was in a $400 Walmart kayak, and I was finally looking to maybe upgrade and start doing my research. I'm kind of retarded about research. I'm very OCD. I like doing a lot of research and making the right decision. And
Yeah.
saw that New Canoe at that dang expo, and I fell in love. And then I researched it, and it came out on top on most of the categories. So that's where I'm at.
Cool.
What kind of kayak do you fish?
Do what?
What kind of kayak do you have that you fish out of?
Oh, I have a Pelican.
Yeah.
It's like 5 foot long.
Just
I'm not even kidding.
kayak.
It's not even a fishing kayak. I literally bought it for like $80, and it's hard as hell to fish out of. It's awful. And I need a fishing kayak like really, really bad. So I've got one. One of my friends has one that I fish out of, but I mean, like all of our ponds have John boats too, So I'm always swapping up. But if I want to get tight spaces, that little kayak is, it's so quick. I can just spin around in like no time flat because it is so small. Now,
Right.
like my friend Jesse, he got in it one day and tried to fish and like killed himself in it. So I mean, anybody that's got any girth or height on them shouldn't fish in small.
Well, those
Should be in
little.
small.
I'm sure you're talking about the same kind of kayak that that my kid and my autistic 27-year-old couch son that he fishes out of. But he, it's like 175-pound max. So, and it's sit in.
Right.
Like it's super short. So it's meant for just like.
They're like. It's literally as long as my couch is. I mean, it's tiny, It's just
right.
Yeah, it's just one of those little. It's for a small person.
I mean, it'll get you on the water, but it's not the most comfortable.
Right.
And it's not the best suited thing for.
Not practical when it comes to fishing. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But
yeah,
you can get
I know.
Kayak relatively cheap, especially used, on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. I know. I really need to look for one. It's like all like. If I want to jump in a boat, I mean, I can in most of these places. So, but I really do want one to take with me that's practical and I can, set it up nicely and more efficiently. So,
right. Have you thought about maybe getting into like a trail series there where you're at?
I don't really know if, I'm sure that they have.
If you're on Kentucky Lake, I know that KBF has some stuff going on.
Well, I don't know. Kentucky Lake's awfully rough when you're in a kayak. You definitely have to be in coves and stuff because you'll get.
I mean, that's what it's all about. It's all about finding those little offshoots in the creeks and, all the stuff, the channels that run into it, and then going and fishing those. Did we lose you? Did I lose everybody? Are we still on? You there? Let me know in the comments if you're still hearing me. Sounds like we just froze. I still see me. The time's still running. Brian, Chris, can y'all still hear me? Am I still on? Looks like we lost Amanda. Yeah, it's getting wintertime, so lots of kayaks should be up for sale and on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, her laptop died. Blonde on the Pond's laptop died. No. You can see me and hear me. Cool. Right on. Thanks, guys. I just didn't know if it was me this time or if it was her, but I could still see myself on the video feed and the time was still clicking. So I felt like I was still live, but her laptop battery died and that's why she just left. It was great having her. If you're in that area or you want to check out her social media, just make sure you look up Amanda Beth Quint. I'll throw her name in the comments section. Blonde on the Pond is her video blog. I mean, there ain't hardly a day that goes by that she doesn't post a video of some sort holding some big ass fish, because she catches them before and after work and lunchtime stuff. I don't know where she goes or what she does, but she's catching fish. So I don't know if we ever did it as a Venom tackle highlight, but this thing was the thing that caught me most of my fish this past couple weekends during the BASS tournament that we did on Gunnersville and the last NACA tournament that I just did this last Saturday. It's the old salty sling. It's just a stick bait worm. This one's watermelon green with red flake. And I had it Texas rigged, so the hook was in the front and it was weedless, wasn't going to get caught on anything. And that's the one bait that got me most of my fish the past 2 weekends. And did get some topwater baits. You going to sit down or you just going to stay out the whole time? Okay, have fun. Just leave me alone. Yeah, the wife is here.
Back again.
Yeah. Are you?
Like in a minute, I'll be popping around the ceiling.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Cool.
I don't have headphones.
It's just you and me.
No. Me and you.
So I mean, you can hear me, right?
I don't feel as important without the headphones.
Well, your headphones are right
That's
here.
okay. It's okay. I'm just kidding. Put them down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I said that this guy, what did I do with it? This guy was my Venom tackle highlight of the week. The old salty sling. Now I know you were fishing some Venom stuff this weekend.
I fished almost exclusively Venom.
What were you having your luck on?
I was getting bit on, and y'all excuse my description here, but the blue and gold sparkly.
You mean green
Fish.
and gold?
No, it's blue.
No, it's green.
It's definitely blue.
No, it's green. This?
No, that's green.
I know.
Mine was blue.
You said Venom.
Mm-hmm.
What Venom do I have that's blue and gold?
Hand me my phone, Carson.
There you go.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
the sparklies? Those are blue.
Yeah, but it's green plastic.
Okay.
Got a little blue, maybe blue flake in it, but
Okay,
it's
so-
a gold flake for the most part.
What is this called?
That's the 4.5 inch buzztail shad, or 3.5 inch, one of the two. I think 3.5 inch.
Carson, hold this up in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's like the secret bait. Yep, that's it.
A little bit
You're good.
closer so they can
No,
see
it's
the
good.
blue sparkles.
You can't see it because it's out of focus.
Yeah, well, there we go. So I love fishing with this thing. He discovered that it was pretty much magic at a local pond.
That's like my secret bait for the year. I've been telling
Yeah.
everybody about it, but they ain't getting it. They ain't using it.
I have given these to 2 or 3 young anglers that I've just come across in town and been like, this is the business.
It is the business.
Get on Venom and get this stuff. And the one guy was so happy because I'm telling you, he put it on a hook. He'd been fishing there all day, hadn't caught nothing. He was like 19, 20. Put it on the hook. I walked away to go find him. When I came back, he was like, hey, I got a fish. I got a fish. He was so excited.
In the fridge.
But it goes through the water impeccable. I never get it tangled up on anything.
No, it's great through grass, but it's also great on top because that little tail.
Yeah, you can pop it. You can make it
that little
splash.
tail catches so much water. And it just has great action. I don't know why. The bigger one, there's one that's an inch longer.
I've used the bigger one too.
And it don't get bit. It's like the small one only gets bit. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I solved your puzzle.
I mean, you only solve it if you put it back together.
And let's see here.
But yeah, that was the Venom tackle highlight. If you are interested in buying some Venom
Man,
tackle,
that's the go-to. You're gonna catch something.
I mean, their soft plastics, I think I think they're awesome. I think they're the best out there.
So
I love using them.
Go to venom.com, venomlures.com,
set it up.
and use code all caps get twisted. Do you think you can mute that or
Yeah,
not?
I'm working on it. Technology
Looks like it
has not been
looks
my
like you're
friend
trying
today.
to type.
I was gonna put in the comment section
Well,
a
maybe
picture of the
mute it.
Venom stuff that I have also used this week.
Okay.
Now, thank you for that highlight. Our camera froze. Bear with us. Are we back?
Yeah.
Yay!
I mean, we never left. It's just the
Okay.
video freezes. Anyway. All caps get twisted. Right? Also, so that, I mean, I guess we didn't really do. Why are you trying to connect to the show?
I'm not.
Oh, it's the other Amanda.
Oh,
Hey!
Sorry, y'all.
I mean, batteries die, girl. That happens.
Well, it's like everything's gonna happen to me. So that's just
Right.
My bad.
Since I have met you, how long ago was that? 2 months, something like that.
Yeah, I believe so. Like 2 or 3 months.
Everything that you said, like that day that we met, that had happened to you, and then everything I saw happen to you on like social media over the last 2 months. I feel like you're in the living version of Final Destination.
I really am. Every time I get stuck behind a log truck, I'm like, this is it. This is how this is gonna go. This
Right.
is how things are gonna end.
I mean, you should
Like seriously.
have crazy stuff has happened to this chick.
I'm not the only one. It must be an
No, you're
Amanda
just
thing.
that shit crazy.
It's an Amanda thing. I got struck by lightning like a month ago.
You hear that?
What?
She got struck by lightning.
Wow, I haven't had that kind of luck.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, it wasn't even storming at my house. It was crazy. It was still like 2 miles away. I was picking tomatoes and I was kneeling on a wash tub that was upside down. And my friend Uriah handed me a beer and he's like, Amanda, you're going to get soaked. And I'm like, it's fine. It's okay. It's far enough away. And like, boom, it hits a tree and it blows a beer out of my hand. It was like, pow. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Wow, you're not
Wow.
supposed to drink that shitty beer.
Jeez. So did you have to go to the hospital? Did it come out? I've heard it come out your fingertips or something like that.
It struck the tree, but we totally felt it. I mean, it was like an out of body experience. I was like, Uriah, oh my God, what just happened? He goes, I don't know. He said, I think I can change the radio station with my thoughts now. And I'm like, well, I can pick up C-SPAN with my feelings.
Right.
It was the craziest stuff.
I got the hardest boner ever. What? That's what happens when you get electrocuted.
I don't think so. It gets small.
God.
When they've been
happens.
clear, you can't even tell it's a man anymore.
Bull crap.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Almost. Invisible.
Don't believe it.
Like seriously though, my mom's like, you should go to the hospital and get your heart tested because we couldn't feel our tongues. Our tongues were numb. It was saying, y'all.
I would wake
I
up
think
and
we
then
have superpowers.
to have superpowers. Like if I couldn't then project light on my fingertips, I'd feel gypped.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can I like catch men on fire? I want that power. Kind of.
I mean, you're in Metropolis, so you should have something.
Oh,
Right?
the
I mean, I'm from home with Superman.
I just connected the dots.
So I was just going to touch on the last tournament that I just did before you hop right back on.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm glad you came back. I told everybody that your battery died because I had a little thing pop up, and that's what you said. You must have sent it from your phone or something.
I did.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I was like, I don't know what's going on, but she's gone.
Sorry.
Yep.
She's gone.
That last Saturday, we fished our NACA. It was supposed to be river stop. So it's supposed to be like all little creeks and rivers and stuff like that. Basically, no bigger than if you were sitting in the middle, you're supposed to be able to like hit both banks from the middle if you cast. And that's like one of the guys' favorite stops because, you know, you just got to put in you got to fish different. And because we got some pretty nasty thunderstorms, they were short, but they were pretty hard. It seemed like the rivers and creeks were kind of getting blown out. So they made the decision the night before to allow all the different lakes that we had fished the whole year. So basically from Birmingham to the Tennessee border, whatever lake you want to fish. And we all went out and we had a good day. We caught fish. I was able to get a limit. It wasn't a big limit by any means, but it took the place of a 0 that I had at the beginning of the season. So it was beneficial for me for sure as far as points go. And it being Tuesday and Chris Marks being on. Chris Marks, if you're still on, man, can you maybe give a hint to when we might see the final standings? Or, you know, I'm really curious.
You don't have to fall for his bribery here, his sweet talking.
I mean, so before this last tournament, before Saturday, I had gone from 76th to 36th in one tournament, right? So then Saturday happened, and it wasn't a great day, but, you know, I got a limit, and I got fish, and was able to go take a selfie with the boat. So, like, I've got points that took place for the points that I, you know, zeroed in, and I'm really curious of where I ended up because I have to have moved up from 36. I have to have moved up to something, but I don't know if I made it up far enough to get a call to the old classic, the championship tournament for our series.
Did Miss Amanda get to fish with you?
She did fish. No, not this last weekend. We did.
It was his birthday, so I was busy decorating the house and, you know, cooking food and whatnot because it's his birthday.
Right.
Oh, but
what did you cook?
I get,
Sorry. What did you cook? Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Salmon and some homemade mac and cheese, and this shit was good.
Nice. That's good stuff. Food.
What are you touching?
I don't know, anything that looked like it would work.
Oh, just hit buttons.
Okay.
Why does it sound different?
I don't know.
What'd you touch?
No, not that one. Don't touch my buttons.
Oh, that's the master volume.
Anyway, I love to fish. Sometimes when he's a little
We're talking dirty. Come on, we're on the radio. We're on the
What?
This is an adult show. All right.
So when I go fishing with him, he's a little tightly wound on a tournament day. I'll just kind of paddle away and, you know, do my own thing, try to get some pictures of him or you know, whatever. I haven't been in a tournament. I haven't been focused on tournament fishing, and he's kind of like encouraged me a little bit to do it this year. I think next year I'm going to start. It's just because I know I'm going to win.
I mean, she's out there anyway, and she's catching.
You know, at least whoop him.
Right.
I didn't mean to
You
cut
have to
you
look
off.
the guy. You're good. How do you like? How do you respond? How do you like? I can't like comment on here. I'm so dumb when it comes to computers. How do you do that?
You used to have to go and wait till after the show to comment, didn't you?
What? Comment? No, I
Yeah.
can do it right now.
Oh, maybe because you're the host.
Yeah. It might be different
Oh,
for you
why.
because you're kind of clicking a link and coming into the broadcast studio.
Here's
But
the magic secret.
if you go to your Facebook on like your phone
That's right, use
and
your
check it
phone.
out, you should see the comment field and be able to say whatever you want to say.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I'm on my computer, so well, there's that.
Well, while you're looking at us and talking to us on your computer, you can type on your phone. And yeah, that's kind of how I mean, I can comment because I have the whole studio here and I got the whole comments. So what's cool about the StreamYard, I'm not sponsored by StreamYard or anything, but I pay for the service through StreamYard, and it allows me to stream on Facebook Live and on YouTube at the same time. And the really cool
Awesome.
part of that is not just streaming in both platforms, but it combines both comment sections of both platforms into one comment
I didn't
window.
even know it did that.
So when I post a comment on here, it's to, YouTube and to Facebook.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Okay. Blonde
So if you-
on the pond. I mean, come on, really.
Yeah, if you got on YouTube and commented on this live feed, I'm going to see it in the same comment window as everything else. And when I reply, it replies to both.
While you were gone, we did the Venom highlight
Gotcha.
of the week. The soft plastic, what is it called?
The salty sling.
Salty sling, which is awesome. It's amazing. I have pictures of me with this in fish's mouth that I can't
No,
figure out how to
that's
post
the one
there.
I fished with. You fished with the buzztail shad.
Dang it, I want to see this. Don't tease me.
This is what she fished with, and this has been my secret
Hold your phone out.
bait. Oh,
You gotta hold your- there we go.
it's a
Hold it better. I can't see it.
Here.
Hold it right, babe.
Does
Hold
it
it
have a
right.
tail on it? I love those. Those are great.
4.5 inch
Do you
or 3.5 inch buzztail shad from Venom.
sweet? Do you put like a bullet weight or anything on it?
So I do it completely weedless, Texas rigged, weightless, weedless. That's how I do it.
Awesome.
Okay. She can't stand that because it doesn't cast far enough.
Awesome. Yeah.
She'll
I
throw
like
on,
those. I've caught a lot of fish on that.
she'll throw on like a Ned rig style hook, but it's actually the mini DK from Venom. It's a weedless Ned rig style hook. What do you call it? Jig hook, whatever. Oh, there's her picture of her catching the bass. But it's got that weighted jig head. It's a mini DK. So if you go to Venom and check it out, that's what it's
Oh, I
called.
love
DK rig.
it's a
Yeah.
shaky. It's like a shaky head.
Well, it's like a Ned rig hook, but it's weedless. It's like offset. Got the little offset shank.
Yeah, it's a Ned rig, but it's called a shaky.
Well, shaky head's usually the spring
Yeah.
side through the
Yeah,
worm.
I love.
I was catching them on this thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. This is just
Shaky's
offset
typically like a very specific. It's got the corkscrew up by the lead weight. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. I gotcha. Yeah, that's what I'm used to using, but I like those too. Cool.
Yeah.
I love a Ned rig. Ned rigs were like my first weedless go-to. I loved them. I love them. I still do love them, especially like around lily pads and stuff.
The normal, Z-Man Ned rig stuff is like not weedless. It's got an exposed hook. And I would rig it kind of like you would a worm on a weedless hook, but it would still catch on stuff. So this Venom hook is actually set up to be Nedless or
It
weedless.
goes through seaweed. It goes or not seaweed, milfoil or grass. It goes over
Hydrilla.
lily pads. You can. I mean, like I've even had it go
Awesome. Yeah.
and I'll just let it sink a little bit, and then I'll pop it back over the tree. It's extremely.
You just like mess with it. I love that. Yeah, I love those. That's one of my go-tos. I love a Ned rig, but you got to keep them in the same bag as you do the rest of your Ned rig stuff, or it'll melt.
I agree.
So.
That's the one thing about the plastic is you can kind of throw it with whatever you want, and it's not going to melt.
I haven't had any of them get. I've had it get used up.
The Z-Man ones definitely will melt and get nasty if you put them with anything.
Oh yeah, they get really bad. Yeah, it's like you have to really. You have to
Well, you might not have
know
heard
what
it,
you're
but
doing.
you know, if you use all caps discount code Get Twisted on Venom's website, you'll get 15% off.
Really?
We're gonna send you.
Good to know.
But if you
pack.
send me your address, we'll put together a Venom package for you, and I'll just send it to you.
Yeah, put you in some of our favorite.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
see,
what
I don't have any Venom stuff yet.
Other
That's
Venom. favorite.
cool.
Joshua Little there last week. I sent him a couple of my favorite ones,
Carson Hall
and
said
I think he's
camera.
gonna get. He should get them. He should have actually already got them, but
a little bit higher. I've gotten
that's what I fished with last weekend, and it smashed it.
every.
Oh, that's a solid color right there.
Thick bait,
Well,
watermelon.
today whenever I was
Also with a Ned rig.
watermelon.
I also do that with like the
Weighted
the weighted, because I
jig hook.
I haven't learned quite how to get used to the feeling of fishing with any like Texas rig or wacky rig,
Something that's weightless.
like a wacky rig, even though because it's sideways, and I just feel like it's just I'm already like sporadic enough, and it's just flopping
I
out there,
know, it's weird.
move and hop and stuff. So that's my favorite hook, and those were my two favorite baits this summer. They are just getting it going crazy. And when I was out there, I noticed that these fish are going nuts over dragonflies.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yes.
got a dragonfly.
Yeah.
One for me, one for him. We're gonna try this out. Here we
I've
go.
already tried it out. It works.
Does it work? Well,
Yeah, I
got two
lost mine.
colors,
Awesome.
and we'll see how they work. So,
But that's super light.
Cool.
So you're not going to like it because you're not going to be able to cast it 50 feet.
I picture myself fly fishing with this thing.
Get
It's not
after
gonna
it,
go
girl. Get
like
after
that.
it.
Not gonna go like that with this dragonfly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna borrow his bait caster,
No,
and we're gonna.
that is not what you want to use with that.
He's like negative Ghost Rider. No.
I mean,
Oh, come
no,
on, be nice.
I wouldn't throw anything super light on a bait caster ever. But no, she's not touching my bait casters either.
Yeah, that would be a bird's nest waiting to happen right there.
So I told you, like, you know, I'm a spinning reel guy. That's my stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I have gotten this year very comfortable with a couple bait casters.
He's pretty good.
But those couple bait casters are not like cheap bait casters. They're
Right.
I already knew what kind of spinning reel stuff I liked, you know, as far as competition style stuff, tournament grade stuff. So I went and got that tournament grade stuff in bait caster, and I knew it was going to be a good hit from the beginning.
Boy, he was so giddy.
Yeah. So
Cute.
they're not the cheap Walmart, you know, and I mean, nothing against that, but I'm fishing tournaments, so I got the stuff that I thought was going to help me do well. And I don't like when other people use it, especially when they don't know how to use it.
I had lessons from a professional.
I'm not a professional.
Private lessons.
Yeah.
So we had driveway lessons, and I caught the trash can, so I think I'm qualified. Moving on up to a pond.
You caught
Yeah.
a balloon, Jeremy. So there you go.
Right?
I what?
Caught the balloon.
I mean,
You caught a balloon and a baby bird
it was on the ceiling.
and a raccoon.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I'm really
impressive.
good at everything but
I'm
that.
gonna catch a three.
he outfishes most of the time me.
Yeah.
So.
That's just because I'm stop until I win.
He does get stubborn out there. I'm like, babe, I'm catching fish over here. If you want to come over here, he's like, nope. I'm fishing over here on this side of the bridge. Okay, fine then. Catch some grass.
That's right. Scott Atkins says he watches on YouTube on his TV and does the comments on his phone on Facebook. Chris Mark says Z-Man makes weedless jigs. I did not know that. Every
Mhm.
Z-Man jig that I've seen for the Ned rig is I've never
That's
seen
what
it.
I've been using.
I've never seen an offset one. I mean, so I rig it up kind of weedless. You know what I mean? Like I do it like you would on an offset hook, but I have never seen a Z-Man weedless jig. Like it's made to be weedless.
To people who don't know the exact difference, can you give a quick explanation?
I mean, I
of the
don't
difference?
have,
Like,
but anyway, what else did he say?
I always use it. I use a shaky head. I use the shaky head and a copper truce Ned rig.
Okay,
And
so
that's what I use. I mean, it works
This-
famously.
this is a Z-Man jig. This is how all of theirs are made
it goes up for myself
for the
today.
most part.
Yeah, but you gotta screw it into
Look.
the screw on a shaky. You mean to go get my stuff?
No, it's a straight shank hook. No, there's
No,
nothing.
not a shaky head.
No. This is the Z-Man. Now, a shaky head is kind of the same principle. Up here or on a straight shank hook, you got a corkscrew that you screw your bait onto, right?
Right.
Okay, but it's still a straight shank hook. And when you do it weedless, the tip is coming out of the plastic at a crazy angle,
No,
right?
it's not.
Oh,
No, you tuck it back in. It sticks out far enough to where you can go straight up and down. Promise.
mhm.
Can you show us?
Mm-mm. I'm going to pull up the Venom weedless.
No, I'm gonna go get mine. My bag in a
Go
sec.
get it.
We'll have
Let's
a,
see
what
it.
is this, a tackle off?
I'm going to get my fish bag.
You go get it.
A lure standoff. What are you looking for?
I don't know what you're looking for.
Fighting. I think a good. The dog is getting into it.
He's a chihuahua. He can't help it.
Over here, like, to show you this Papa Bear.
Uh-huh. All right.
I actually bought these today, but I've never seen. None of yours really have these stick things coming in.
What? That's for going through grass. That's a brush guard or some shit. They don't really work. What? Jeremy tell you what? What do you want, Scott? I don't know. What do I got to tell you? All I know is every Z-Man product I've ever seen is a straight shank hook, and that is not a weedless hook. So I'm gonna share something real quick.
Which Amanda?
We can show
Scott.
the Chrome tab here. Oh, Amanda's sound is not good.
We're live now.
Which Amanda?
So she went to go get her set up.
Anyway,
Are you going to set
shut
one up?
up.
I know you're doing the Venom
I'm
picture.
trying to show them. Look,
Simmer down.
here we go. Look, this is the mini DK. No, this is the DK rig, and they have a mini one, which is just a smaller weight. You see how you guys see my cursor? How it's straight, and then there's an offset. Okay, so you look at this picture. Look at this picture right here. See this? That's completely weedless. Now you can expose it. How they just bury just the tip of the hook under the plastic. That worm is dead straight because of that offset. Now Z-Man doesn't have that.
So how would we get this guy on this? Because I'm going to need a lesson anyway.
Okay, so if I was going to put that on there,
Mhm.
they're not going to be able to see it unless they go up here. You're going to have to tell me if I'm on camera or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit higher.
Well,
So if I was going to rig this guy, I would go through the tip of the worm just like that, and I'd come out, flip it over, pick it up, just like you would any other worm hook like that. Okay. Figure out where the hook needs to go.
Can y'all hear him?
Now that's how I would rig it.
That's how he would rig
That
it.
worm is dead.
well,
It is weedless
Weedless.
to a point.
Okay. Good point.
But when the hook comes through it, you can see that it's going to be at an angle,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
It doesn't do that on the Venom stuff.
Right.
It
right.
is true weed.
Correct.
You can go through some grass, and it's going to catch on the tip of that hook if it starts getting worn out after a couple of casts.
And I'm going to let y'all know next week which one I think is better because I really require a weedless one because I'm throwing, like I said earlier, I'll do anything to get a fish and I'm throwing in anything that I can. I'm frugal, so I hate losing my bait. So I'm going to try it with
Me
this guy.
too, girl.
Right. I just bought this kind of antennae here. And
It's a brush
I'm
guard.
used to using exclusively only the Venom ones, which I love, and they're easy for me to get hooked up. It's simple. I don't tear up my baits that way. So next Tuesday, I'll let you know which one works better, the Z-Man with the antenna or the Venom true straight weedless.
Right. Show us what you got going on.
Need a little bit more light on your side.
Okay,
Miss May.
so I have a Z-Man Ned rig.
They'll see the hook.
Well, now I've got to have it on here. See, look, it's got the spring. You
Maybe
screw
you
it
can put
on.
Behind it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's a shaky head.
Yeah, and then you take it, take the bottom. Hold on, I'm doing this like super quick. Okay, let's just say it's on here right. Okay,
I'm gonna screw the bait on. And you put it, yeah.
Hold it up just a little. Okay.
So you take it and then you tuck it back in just like that. Well, it's not straight up and down. But if I took like, 3 more minutes and did it right.
It's basically the same thing.
So amateur here, I'm not seeing the difference.
No, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's just that hers has a
Put your
corkscrew
hand behind it.
right here where your brush guard is.
You can make it weedless. I mean, you can make it weedless though.
Yeah, you can make it weedless. But after you cast that thing for a couple times and it starts to get worn out on the tip of that hook where the plastic's at, the tip's going to start to poke through.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
I like it when the tip pokes through, honestly.
I bet you do.
You have to adjust it.
I feel like if the hook's not out in some way or another, I'm going to lose the biggest fish in my life.
No.
It's a paranoia that sits deep within my bones, and I freak out. I have to have the hook got to be going at some point. Yeah, no, it's got to be out there. We're going to get
I
this
used
fish.
to be like that too. Hey, listen, I was like that too. I would fight my friend Jesse Hall tooth and nail with this. He'd be like, Amanda, you got to make it weedless. And I'm like, no, the fish won't bite it hard enough and I'll lose the fish. He's like, no, you won't. I promise. He was right.
I'll pout for hours if I lose a fish. I'm bad.
I do too. Girl, I
Okay.
cry.
Can you see the screen, Amanda? Can you see my screen from your feed? Yay, nay, yes, no. Can you see us?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you the Venom one and the difference. All right.
Okay.
So, do you see how these hooks have that offset like you would have on, just a normal hook?
They're awesome.
But this is the jig head. It has that offset. Because of that offset on that jig head,
Right.
you can see how once you bring the hook through the plastic,
the hook is still showing, which I love.
it is perfectly weedless. Like you can expose it and just put the tip of the hook under the plastic, but it's straight and in line with the bait. You see what I'm saying? It's a different.
I've never used those. Those look cool.
I like it better because I wasn't trying to talk crap about the way you had it. I fished like that for a couple of years.
Yeah, you were.
Until I found these. Right. And what I didn't like about shaky heads and about Z-Man is that they weren't truly weedless. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have that offset, and the way that the hook came through the plastic, it was coming through at an angle. So if I caught on some heavy grass, that hook's coming through.
Yeah, I can see it's like more, it's more vertical than that is. I've never used one of those.
No, that's
so now you're gonna have to send me one.
I got you.
Thanks.
Got you. Once you use it,
awesome,
you won't go back.
So, what weight do you use with that?
Well, I got a handful of different weights. Definitely, I got light to heavy. Gunnersville is one of the places that we fish the most, and it has got some thick grass. So it depends on what I'm trying to do with it. If I'm in 10 foot of water and there ain't a whole lot of grass, and I'm just trying to bounce it off a hard bottom, I don't need a whole lot of weight, especially kayak.
Right.
But if I'm trying to punch in a sense, into some heavy grass, then I've got some bigger weights for that too.
Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am. But you'll see, and then you'll have to do a video review for me or something. You have to let me know.
I will.
Worth its weight in gold or poop?
Well, I mean, if it works for you and you like it, that's.
There's a lot of things that work for me that I don't like. You know what I mean? Or that other people don't like.
That's like you were. Well, that's true too. Yeah. But you were showing, you had the one hook that and I've got one here somewhere, the first one that you showed, and it wasn't weedless. It was, like just a Ned rig hook, and it's exposed.
She's got it's a straight shank Z-Man. This is a Z-Man hook, but it's got the brush guards, which, should help. But I haven't had a whole lot of. You
can only get so weedless like that, though, with the little brush guard things. I mean, they're only going to do so much.
That's how I rigged it. I rigged it how she asked me how I would rig that particular hook. And that is as weedless as it's going to get. But as soon as you start getting caught on any of that heavy grass, you probably can't see it on camera, but the tip of that hook is already pulling through. So, it only takes, 3, 4, 5 casts, and that plastic will start getting worn, and that tip will start coming through no matter what you do. And
that's right.
I have worse luck with that. Oh shit, we're frozen.
Oh no.
There we go. I will figure out a way to fix that, but the fix is to plug a mini USB into my computer, but as soon as I do that, I lose the video image coming from my capture card. So I got to figure that out.
Gotcha.
Until then, it's just shutting it off and turning it back on.
Yep.
So
do you use flukes?
I use a rubber worm to make the weedless hook. Yeah. All of our stuff is artificial. I don't fish with any live bait because all the tournaments that I'm in, you can't use live bait. So I practice with what I'm going to fish with. And that's all artificial baits. All my worms are rubber, Ron. What were you going to say, Amanda?
Oh, I was going to ask if you use flukes very often.
Okay, so this that buzztail shad that Amanda showed you that she loves, like that has been. I've caught 90% of my fish in 2020 on that bait.
So what kind of hook do you use on that? With that,
I use a 3/0 weightless off shank hook, and it works perfect. That's me.
Awesome.
She uses this weighted jig head style, like a Ned rig type hook. That's what she likes with. But it's basically a fluke, but with a buzz tail instead of that straight tail.
Right.
I don't know if can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. I've used those before. I really like them. And it does mimic a fluke. It's quite a bit like a fluke.
Very much. I mean, it's basic. It basically is a fluke, with a different tail.
Well, it doesn't. The body isn't as wide, but still, it's going to be. It's got the same effect as a fluke does.
Yeah.
So, what color is that? The one that's like watermelon red?
No, this one is what they call a green shiner. Now it's
Green shiner. Okay.
Yeah, it's two colors of plastic. The top half is like green, and the bottom half is almost translucent.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The flake in it is like a teal flake and gold flake.
Gotcha.
And I don't know what the difference is. You'll get some of these too. I don't have many left. This is my second bag of 50. And I have, I don't know, 10 left. But I've gone through 90 of these baits because they straight out work. I've also got the one that is an inch longer. So I think this is the 3.5 inch and the other one's a 4.5 inch, but I could be wrong. This could be the 4.5 inch and the bigger one is the 5.5 inch. I just can't remember. But the bigger one is the exact same bait, an inch longer. And I haven't gotten bit hardly at all this year on the bigger bait. I switch it out for the smaller bait and I get smashed.
Do you ever use Nico rigs or I'm sure you use a Cinco, right?
Yeah, Senko's a lot. That's basically what this Venom salty sling is. It's basically a Senko. Like those are almost identical.
If you ever see like this color, this Yum Dinger,
yeah,
and you've got nail weights 1/8 or 1/16, yeah, seriously.
What color is it? Uh-oh. Do we lose you again? The damn battery. Chris Marks uses a number 5 offset with a worm or a fluke. Right on. I use the EWG. I love those hooks. 3/0. I guess most of the stuff I've been throwing this year has been 3/0. Typically, I'm like a 4 or 5/0, because I love fishing the Shadowlicious swim baits and stuff like that. But Venom stuff's a little bit smaller, and the smaller stuff is just what I've been getting hit on, and the 3/0 just fits those baits perfect. I guess she's gone. I guess her battery died. I don't know. That's what happened last time. I'm gonna send her some stuff. Maybe she'll do a little review. We'll get some of that stuff on the Facebook or YouTube or something like that. We'll check it out and see what she says. I feel like that's about our time. It's freaking 9 o'clock, past my bedtime. Since we haven't talked about it for the last week or two, I'm gonna throw this up there. Y'all know what, if you've been around, you've seen this. It's our fishing tournament coming up September 19th in conjunction with North Alabama Kayak Anglers. They've helped us support this. Madison County Lake. All right. It doesn't matter if you're on the bank, if you're in a kayak, if you're in a john boat, if you're in a bass boat, everything's electric. No gas motors. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can be 6 years old or 60. Come out and fish. Okay. We're supporting I'm hosting it with NACA, inaugural burn victim awareness fishing tournament. Hopefully we can do it again next year if it all goes well. I got Yak Attack has come on as a sponsor and gave us some gift cards to give out to everybody. We got the Kayak store, Venom Lures, Solar Bat. Who else? We got food trucks and dessert trucks that are going to be out there. Trying to get somebody out there that's going to do some. Yeah. On-Demand Decals has sent a bunch of stuff to give out. Kayak Express has given straight cash to the afflicted families. So Ron Biggs has donated. Scott Hines has donated. Jason Lilly has donated. It's going to be a good time. My little brother and his wife, On-Demand Decals, Ryan Coughlin, Melinda Coughlin, they're going to be out here. They're going to fish it in my kayak. It's going to be a good time. Scott Atkins I think he said he's coming out. Don't let me put words in your mouth. I feel like I remember you saying you're going to be there. But I should have a new poster coming out here in the next week. I'm trying to get all the people that have committed to doing something for us on there, and start getting the word. Hopefully, that week before we'll get some bigger people and some better promotion of it, and try to get some more people out there. But you guys really help by word of mouth and just getting people to come. Need a video person there too. I agree. I'll be there. I will be a judge, with my catch board, and my wife will be there with my hog trough, and hopefully get some other people to volunteer their time to come out and just measure fish and be a judge, so that we can all make this worthwhile. I mean, Ryan's fishing. He's going to be on the kayak. Him and Melinda. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Ryan, Amanda says you should be a judge because you can't catch fish anyway. Yeah, I'm hoping to enlist some help. I'm gonna ask for some help here in the next week or so. I'm gonna try starting getting some people wrangled in as just scattered around the pond as judges, and hopefully we can make that happen. All the money, every bit of the money, not a dime, is going anywhere else but to the families that are James Boyle and Natalie Smith. But that's what's going on. If you're in the North Alabama area and you're looking for something to do September 19th, and you don't want to do the incredibly awesome Spro kayak fishing frog only tournament, which is the same day, come out and do the inaugural Burn Victim Awareness Tournament. You'll have fun no matter what. And hopefully a lot of people win some door prizes, because I got quite a bit of stuff coming. Melinda, I would love for you to be a judge, but I'd rather you fish. Amanda's throwing comments in because the battery on that laptop is dead, I guess. Thank you for being here, Miss Quint. Hope you have a good night as well. Keep up the tight lines, because every day, man, she's throwing up fish. All right. I feel like that's everything we got going on. I hope to hear from some NACA people about our points and where I'm at. I can see if I'm, if I made it high enough to get called the old championship or not. If not, it's no big deal. Like, I don't imagine I made it high enough, but I'm proud of the fact that I was like 76 not that long ago. And I feel like I'm going to end up in the 20s, somewhere in there, but we'll see. Yeah, out of 149 people that I counted on our spreadsheet of anglers that were on there, I think it was 149. Top 20 something, top 30. I feel like that's a pretty good accomplishment. In case you haven't seen it, I will talk about all our little sponsors on our sheet here. All right. We already talked about Kayak Express and On-Demand Decals doing stuff for the tournament. Platinum Koi, if you're in the North Huntsville, or if you're in North Alabama in the Huntsville area and you're looking for a tattoo and you want a good artist, you need to check out Platinum Koi if you haven't. All their tattoos and stuff are online. You can check out their work, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, or you can just stop in and check it out. But they have artists of multiple different disciplines, and they're all just good at what they do. If you're curious, you can ask me questions. I'll show you the ink I got by Tony Johnson. He's very much a realism artist, and I couldn't be happier. I love my stuff. Amanda Beth Quint, the old blonde on the pond, she's sponsored by the same people that I am, Solar Bat, Performance Fishing Glasses. I've had some issues with mine. I'm working with them to fix those issues. We'll see how it goes. Venom Lures, of course. I love Venom Lures. We've talked about them all evening, based in the latter half of the show. But, check them out. Their plastics and stuff are by far, one, different than most of the other people. Two, I think better than most other people. But different is always a big deal because, you get all these anglers out there throwing all the same stuff. The fish see all the same stuff and they get hyped to it. You know what I mean? Like, they stop biting it unless you really trick them or throw it in their face. But the Venom stuff's a little different, so it's not quite exactly what they've seen. I think that's why it's worked so well for me this year. And CSR, man. Cast some relief. I'll tell you what, I couldn't keep fishing if I didn't have this stuff. I've been doing a lot of fishing the past month and a half, 2 months, almost every weekend. Well, probably every weekend except for that emergency trip to Seattle. But I've never been a big fan of CBD products. This stuff's different. This stuff's water soluble. Your body uptakes way more of it than the CBD oil. And this stuff flat out works for me. It makes my pain in my knees and my back subside to where I can keep going. And that's a big deal. I think that's it. Catch and relief is the stuff. That's right. It's the stuff. And there's, Bill McDonald and Hunter Freeman, and they've both been on the show. There's multiple other pros that use the stuff, but anybody that uses it, I feel like they're going to like it. They're going to use it. They're, I don't know. It works. And, I'm to the point where it works better than Advil and Aleve and any of that stuff. And it doesn't hurt your damn liver like that stuff does. So, it's a win-win. I appreciate y'all being here. What do you think? What do y'all think about changing the name just like, Papa Bear's Den or something? I don't know, man. But the best damn kayak fishing podcast ever is a long-ass title. I feel like it's a cool title. I'm in on it, but, maybe it needs to be shorter. I don't know. Let me know. We got comments. Throw some comments out there. Let me know what you think would be a good title of the old podcast here. Other than that, if you're curious, here's the old lady and I's social media. You can check her out on Instagram at Tightline Wife. She's always posting fish pics up on that, which I love. And then I got all the stuff. That's about it. Y'all have a good night. We're going to tune off, and we'll catch you next week. Deuces.